Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, peewees around the world, James Franklins around the world,
Oh God, fire James Franklin.
Nebraska Cornhuskers around the world,
They lost today by a
Who
field goal.
and I don't know, guinea pigs around the world.
Giddy
Welcome
pigs.
to another episode.
Whoa, how about
Bad
tennis?
Pod-
How about them volunteers around the world? Don't forget
They
about my
just
team.
started. Calm down.
Hey, hey, um,
No, we brought
welcome.
up teams. I'm bringing up mine.
Listen, welcome to another episode of the Bad Five Bettors Podcast. I think this is episode 12, powered by the Bad Five Bettors Discord. Before we get started, me and Joy would like to sing a song. I'm gonna start singing it. He gonna know he gonna hop right along. So today, someone told me, and I quote, at 9:43 in the morning.
Was it keep the
When
points?
I
We
said-
don't need them.
Hold on.
Go on,
That,
young man.
Hold on. When I said that Penn State sucks and has no shot in hell today, I was told that I am smoking crack. Keep the point. Penn State gonna whoop that ass.
Keep the point.
That's what I was told. Now, listen, I'm an LSU fan, so it's kind of rich coming from me. But Penn State. I just want just a few seconds before we start. So I'm gonna sing a song, and everybody can sing along if they want. Dead in the water, dead like the midnight children, dead in the water, just like they season. So before we start,
Nah. Hey. Goodbye. Oh man.
Listen, I'm so sorry, but Ryan, you had it coming.
I told you all the write-up. I only wanted him to win so we could dance on his
You
parade.
had it coming. See, if you
That was
didn't
funny.
So before we talk about Penn State really briefly, I'd just like to have a 10-second moment of silence to every Penn State fan's dream that thought they was going to do something. So we're going to start now. Can I get a hand clap?
Yeah. Woo. Woo. Yeah.
Ryan,
L.
that's enough for me just being a complete dickhead. How does it feel, Ryan?
I do want to say one more thing. Cornbud, you're banned from talking about Notre Dame basketball.
You know,
You killed Joey with that one. You killed Joey with that one.
Oh, Lord.
Now, the real reason we are all here, Gabe, thank you for your lovely and ever-present introduction. We are here, while we might be a couple days late, we are here for one reason and one reason only. The great sport of college basketball. I got Joey, I got Cornbud, and I got Gabe.
Who's just here for the vibes and good times.
Yeah! So, Cornbud, you and I are the unclaimed, claimed college basketball sharks in this Discord. Would you say that is correct?
We're some cappers. We're
However,
some CDP cappers.
we know the season started last week. Obviously, we had to kind of push back the podcast for college basketball because we were covering something else last week. That's beside the point.
What were we covering last week?
It was you, me, and Mar talking about toxic fan bases.
Oh yeah.
That was a fun one. I had fun doing that one.
For that.
We are going to cover.
We did at 1. Was that the episode we did at 1:00 in the morning?
Yeah,
Oh
backstory.
God, really?
It was so Gabe, Mar, and I were in Discord, and Gabe was like, "I really don't want to record Sunday." Now, mind you, it was Sunday at 1:00 in the morning, but like we didn't want to record Sunday like afternoon or evening because we just weren't feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all in Discord. Gabe was like, "You want to record now?" I was like, "Fuck it." And Mario was just kind of like, sure, I don't care. So we just recorded a podcast.
No, it was Friday. So
It was Friday.
It was Friday, and I had a lot of teacher stuff I needed to do that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, yo, let's just record tonight.
I
So
know
I
I was
could just
teaching
spend,
on Friday.
so I could spend all of Saturday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were doing all that teacher stuff.
Yeah, I had a curriculum plans. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh. I'm so glad I gotta do that this week. We just giving tests. Amen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Texting, calling parents. Amen. But
Thank you, Father.
But yeah, that's why we recorded at the crack of dawn. Never again.
No.
But now we're recording. It's 4:21. Fellas, I'm gonna keep track of the time. This must be done by 5:50 because there's
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah.
We've got bigger fish to fry.
so
Yes, we do.
We'll make it quick.
Gabriel
That's what
yeah,
we
so Gabriel's going to be on mute, and I'll just give warnings. So whenever y'all ready, go right ahead, fellas.
Cornbread, I think we're gonna start where a lot of people would think we should start, with the Big Ten.
It's Big Ten season, baby.
So, as we all know, everyone thinks it's Purdue and the rest of the field. However, it kind of does seem to be that way. Because James Madison,
Yeah,
because Michigan State, night 2 or 3 of college basketball, dropped a game to James Madison.
Yes, they did.
Joey, we'll get to them in a little bit when we talk about the mid-majors. This team is okay. They lost Joey Hauser, which I think is a bigger problem than people were thinking it was going to be. Because they brought back AJ Hogard. They brought back Tyson Walker, who balled out for that. He catch them in that game against JMU, for crying out loud. This
The
team,
returning 4 starters.
yeah. However,
But
this team they don't have chemistry. And I saw that in the game against James Madison, Cornbud. It's tough to see. It's going to take a little bit. And you know what? They get Duke on Tuesday.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Especially coming off a loss.
I just think that it's time for Izzo to hang it up.
I agree.
Obviously, the chemistry has to come from coaching. I mean, it's not like just because you're on a team with some guys for a couple of years, now you're all best friends. There's chemistry that comes from court, practice, game planning, and Izzo just, I mean, he's a great coach, but he's not really with the times anymore. So for that,
I'm kind of selling Michigan State right now. This conference once again, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Michigan State for the Big Cat Party, I was like, "What is this?
Yeah.
This isn't a Tom Izzo team." And,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
At all. And I don't know what it is, but any team we've all played sports, most teams are a reflection of their coach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel like that. I agree with you, Gabe. This is not a James Frank. It's not James Franklin. What am I saying? It's not a Tom Izzo coach team. It is a Tom Izzo coach team, but it doesn't feel like it's Tom Izzo's team. Like, and he said it a little bit in the offseason, that it's been kind of tough being able to get through to these guys in practices.
You want to know what it is, too? He's also old.
Yeah, he
I don't
is.
mean to be disrespectful, but he is old.
No, it's just time to hang him up, dude. It really is. There's nothing else to say.
It's not to say, like, you know, we all know. Well, we all grew up in a different generation.
Michigan State was one of the better teams of that generation.
Right. We all grew up, like, some of these kids don't know that history.
No, I know.
And a lot of kids is like, if we ain't see it, it ain't never happened.
Yeah, of course.
You see what I mean? We all grew up with Tom Izzo, John Calipari,
Coach K.
Coach K, Jim Butler. I call him Is his name Jim? Jim Boheim? His
Jim
name is Jim, right?
Jim Boeheim at
Jim
Yeah.
Syracuse.
Boeheim.
Yeah.
Jim Boeheim. Who else? There's a couple people I'm missing here.
Roy Williams, Coach K.
Coach K.
That was the
We
generation.
we
Yes.
grew up like that. These kids don't know that
No,
generation.
I know, which is crazy.
They don't. So it's like if they ain't see it, they ain't claiming it. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So it's just like, I mean, Michigan. Let's be for real. They haven't been good the past couple of years.
No.
They've been okay. They're like the Patriots. They're like the Patriots right now. And I think one thing as a man, this is
Mm-hmm.
anything. You have to know when the job's just too big. To be like, you know what? For the betterment of everything I love, give it to a young guy.
Yeah.
Give it to a
That's
young guy. You saw
money.
what Coach K did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get
Handed it
We,
over
we
to, I would argue, the best man for the job in John Shire, but we'll talk about that
yeah.
when we get to the ACC. You know what's
about
funny about this conference, though, Cornbud and Gabe,
Mm.
is
yeah.
everyone knows that this conference runs for Purdue, but nobody's really done anything in the offseason to, like, really make a push. I mean, Purdue brought back everybody. Well, I want to transition into Purdue really quick. We know what happened to them last year. They lost, yada, yada, yada. Zach Edey comes back. Brady Fletcher and Foster Loyer. Oh, no. But, yeah. Brady Fletcher and Foster Loyer are now sophomores. They are no longer freshmen. I think they just hit a freshman wall in the tournament last year. I really think is what happened. You know what's funny, too, Cornbud, is I was looking at their future to win the regular season. I was going to grab it. But at plus one, I think it was at like plus 140, plus 150. There was no value. None,
No, you probably have more value rolling each of their winnings.
of course.
But
Another team I want to touch on is Michigan. Currently, they do not have Jace Howard. He is out. He's injured. He's hurt. He hurt something, tore something. I don't know what he did. But he is not. He hasn't played yet for them this season. I don't know when he's gonna play. I haven't looked at the injury report yet.
talking about Jet Howard?
Oh yeah.
No, one of the
Is
Howard
it
brothers
no?
got
Jet
drafted.
Howard's the one that went pro. Jace Howard's the one that's still there.
No, okay. I was like, no, we're good.
He's hurt. I think it was his knee or something, and it's something in one of his legs that is hurt. That he hurt. They do have Namari Burnett though, who's pretty fucking nice. They're gonna be okay. They'll beat up on teams out of conference just because they're more physical than them in the post. And then they've got oh god, I can't even pronounce his name. It's Nakamura. It's Nkamhoua. I don't know what his name is, but they'll be okay. I think they might finish middle of the Big Ten this year. I was chilling Cornbud by notes before we started this podcast. My Indiana writing is no Chase Jackson Davis. They suck. They have Xavier Johnson. That's about it. Xavier Johnson is going to have to lead them this year. Who did they already lost to somebody that's not great. I don't remember who it was. Or was it, did they, hang on.
No, they haven't lost yet. They kept it really close with Florida Gulf Coast, though.
Oh, it was the Florida Gulf Coast game. So I went back and I watched the highlights of that game. The offense Indiana's running right now under Mike Woodson, not the answer. There's no spacing. Defensively, they cannot figure it out. Defensively, they are a mess right now. An absolute mess. It's going to be rough to watch them play this year at points.
Well, and especially how close that game was and how inefficient Florida Gulf Coast was
Yeah.
that they were able to keep it that close.
You know who's going to need
look
to
at the
have a
box
big...
score right now, 38.7%
So am I.
from the field, 38.2% from the three. So, I mean, pretty good. And Florida Gulf Coast has got some really good shooters, but
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't allow games to stay that close.
You know what
when
scares
they're
me about
shooting
this Xavier? You know what
38%
scares
from
me
the
about
field.
this Indiana team, Cornbud?
Mm.
Is Xavier Johnson. Can he stay healthy? Because he got hurt. I think was it the middle of last year, beginning of last year? Got hurt, came back, got hurt again, and wasn't really the same person down the stretch. Obviously, he had the whole rest of the offseason to rehab his injury. It's gonna be a wait and see on him, to kind of see how he gets back into game shape. But let me tell you, Troy Galloway is gonna have the ball for them to be in contention for anything this year. They might
Well, and then
sneak into the
you can't
tournament,
forget
but
though,
like
Joel Ware coming from Oregon.
that's
I
massive.
mean,
He
they
had
got a
13
pretty
points
big
and
team
he had a
right there
double
for
last
losing.
night. 13
Yeah,
points, 12
double.
boards.
I mean,
He's
there's room right there for growth, and I mean, Gabe Cup playing some meaningful minutes as a freshman, didn't do too much for the course of his first game in the D1 setting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say that they're in shambles, but they probably will finish middle of the pack.
Yeah. And then the other team I want to talk about is, our boy Keisuke Tominaga and Nebraska. Corbin, what's your outlook on the Nebraska Cornhuskers this year?
It's a pretty fresh team. A lot of transfers, in and out. Obviously, Keisei Tominaga, he hasn't played a game yet this season.
No, he hasn't.
Is that the Chinese Asian curry?
Yeah.
The
He's
one
the
that
kid that can
Japanese
ball.
curry, Japanese curry.
whoever the fuck he is, that boy got a wet jumper.
Mm-hmm.
No, I will say, my biggest concern is maybe not using the younger guys to the best of their abilities. Sam Hoiberg's pretty good though.
Mm-hmm.
Coach's kid.
I was gonna
He
say, is
hoops.
that Fred kid?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hoops, dude. In their 2 games so far this season, he's shooting 42% from the three,
Good for him.
60% from the field. It's not terrible. So, and then I would say the biggest loss is not having oh goodness gracious
Big balls of fire.
is Derek Walker.
Yeah, that hurts.
Derek Walker moving on is a tough loss. On top of that, Breidenbach transferred to the Huskies, and so we'll see what happens. But
I have
there's
one more
one more
team I
team-
want to talk about in the Big Ten.
Go ahead.
No, well, you and I gonna pick the same team?
I was going to talk about Maryland.
I was gonna talk about Illinois. Okay.
Oh, you
I'll
go
talk.
first.
So, Joey,
Yeah.
Illinois now has one of your favorite players.
Yeah, who's that?
Do you know Quincy Guerrier transferred to Illinois?
No shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
here's where I lie on Illinois. Obviously, we've all seen the infamous Brad Underwood post game, whatever the fuck that was, after they got blown out by Penn State last year. Well, he went on record and said the team sucked and whatever, and then it came out that there were issues in the locker room and in practices and yada yada yada. This team has potential, I think, to be sneaky. I don't know if they can fuck around and win the thing, but you've got Quincy Guerrier, Terrence Shannon Jr., Coleman Hawkins, Amani Hansberry, still got Dane Danger, who's pretty good, great name by the way. Luke Godey is still there. Like, this team has the pieces. You know what hurts them though, Cornbud?
Mm.
They had one of their guards, Sincere Harris, redshirt, which is not great for them. I want them to be good, simply because I like Quincy Guerrier, and I think he's a fucking stud. I don't know if, I think they might have the same problems last year. I don't know if they have a true point guard on their team. Genuinely. I don't think so.
No, they've had that issue for like the last 2 years though.
I'll let
But-
you roll into Maryland here, and then we'll wrap up with our predictions.
Terrence Shannon Jr. is going to be the one to have to carry the load for
Oh,
the
of
most
course.
part. But I
And
would say
He can. I
my
just don't know
favorite
if he will.
player on and off the court, maybe in the Big Ten, is Coleman Hawkins.
I love
He's-
Coleman Hawkins, bro. He's so fucking good.
But no, I mean they're still a solid team. I see them being the one of 2 or 3 contenders to be at least in the Big Ten championship with Purdue. Because if Purdue is not in the Big Ten championship, then Zach Edey's wondering, why the fuck am I not playing in the NBA or the G?
I'll let you whip through Maryland. We'll give our conference predictions, and then we'll roll on to another
Bet.
conference.
I just think Maryland's a sleeper this year.
I think they are, too. I'm not super
mean,
familiar with what they did before the season started,
Well,
but I
so
think they'll
they
be
didn't.
okay.
They well they didn't do much. Of course they lost to Davidson, yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
64-61 is a close game. But
That Davidson
they've
team's pretty fucking good.
yeah, exactly. It's not like they lost to you know. It's not like they're losing to some garbage teams.
Nope.
But they're they returned three really big guys from last season, kind of their core.
Mhm.
Jameer Young, last year he averaged 15.8 with 41% from the field, and that includes the transition from the AAC to Big
Mhm.
Ten basketball. He was with Charlotte. He was in his fifth year, and I expect to see growth throughout the season for him. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy's constantly, since his sophomore year, he's constantly averaged around 16 to 18 points a game.
Mhm.
And then you're looking at Julian Reese, who's just a
I like
dog.
him. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, last year he averaged 11.4, threw in 7.2 boards, and he averaged 1.2 blocks a game. If you include generated turnovers, he
Mhm.
averaged 2 generated turnovers a game.
Mhm.
Um, I like it. I think that he's pretty solid. And then Donta Scott, he's just been pretty consistent over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He'll give you some buckets. He's a pretty efficient shooter. My only concern with him is his efficiency drops every single year. But no, I think Maryland could make a run in the Big Ten.
Mhm.
Because
I will say
honestly,
this.
this era of transfer portals, you know, there's not. It's always about what did you do over the summer?
Yeah.
What did you do over the springtime? After March to bring in some new firepower. Not a lot of people are really willing to say, I'm going to stick with this team, or I know we have the pieces. We just need to get some more experience and put this all together. And that's kind of what Maryland's doing with their core. I mean,
I respect it though.
yeah,
I will say I
these
respect
guys
it.
could seriously make a run,
Mhm.
and we can go into predictions.
I think it's Purdue or nothing.
I agree.
Oh, obviously that. I would say the two or three teams that I think are going to be playing in the Final Four of the Big Ten.
I could
It's
see
going to be
Illinois.
it's going to be Purdue, Illinois. I kind of want to say Michigan.
You know who has the
Um,
potential to be good, but I don't know enough about them to really give a prediction.
hmm.
Iowa might be sneaky. Iowa might be sneaky.
They're still hanging points up right now. They dropped 110 and 98 so far, but
Yeah, I
you want a
know.
point now. I mean, they're dropping points. Patrick McCaffrey might actually,
He's
get
still
some
a thing?
meaningful. Yeah, dude. Well, this is his fifth year. Yeah. His other brother, I think, is gone.
Yeah.
Luke McCaffrey's gone, but I don't know. My concern about Iowa is after losing Chris Murray,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
necessarily
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
the
agree with you
firepower that.
100%.
No, I could see Michigan contending though, and then my sleeper pick is Maryland. I think if they put everything together, um, they can easily have a deeper run
Mhm.
into March. So
Where
where
do
do
you
we
want to
all?
go? Where do you want to go next? I was gonna go to the ACC.
ACC sounds good to me.
So this is gonna be a fun year for this conference. I think the ACC has the potential to be either really good or really bad. Um, I'll start with Duke here. Um, I'll talk about the loss to Arizona in a minute. Um, they have, you know what they have is they have experience. They've got Filipowski, they've got Mitchell, they've got Proctor, and Jerry Roach are all back with this team. Filipowski, I don't want him to have to carry them, but after what I saw last night, Man might have to. Um, you know what the biggest problem with this team is this year, though? Is their physicality. They got bullied in the paint against Arizona. Now, granted, yes, they had a chance to win it, but, like, I don't know if I liked what I saw from them as far as a physicality standpoint in the paint. I mean, it's only going to get worse in the ACC. I mean, we know how the ACC is. It's a physical conference. It's not one of the most physical in the country, but it's up there.
No, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to use their shooting and efficiency to be able to get this done. So,
Mhm. And you
but
know
I
what?
still,
I love John Shire.
oh
Love
yeah.
John Shire.
Well,
Um,
I do want to touch base
I've got a
on.
couple teams I want to touch on, but you can go ahead and kind of bounce. We
I
can
was gonna
just
say
kind of
I do
bounce.
want to touch base on North Carolina. I mean,
Yep.
obviously, just a really disappointing season last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, returning Baycott and R.J. Davis.
And they brought
Got
Cormac
Cormac
Ryan back
Ryan
too,
from
but
Notre Dame
I like
and
him a lot.
Harrison Ingram.
I
They got
forgot
some
about
pretty
Harrison
big.
Ingram. They got
They
a
have
couple young freshmen coming in too that are going to be okay.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of that, yeah, Elliot Cadeau, is that his
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Elliot Cadeau? Um, I mean, I see him to kind of help carry this team.
Yeah.
I really think that I think they're the ones to win it,
I
honestly.
I don't hate that. I think it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be questions, the same as last year. Is what kind of effort do you get from these guys? But I think they're bought in to the system of Hubert Davis now. I think they were some of them were a little skeptical, but I could see this team pushing for a top four spot in the ACC. I could see them winning the ACC, truthfully.
I'm gonna say, come tournament time. I mean, what happened last year is I would like to call it an anomaly. I mean, of course, there's things you can say about culture and whatnot, but
I think it
basketball
depends how they look once it comes. I think it depends on how they look once they hit ACC play. Is what it's gonna come
Yeah.
down to. Um, I'm gonna bounce over to Miami really quick, but this
Oh
team's
yeah.
still really fucking good. They have Wooga Poplar. They still have Noah Chadomir. They still have Nigel Pack on this roster, bro. I mean, yeah, you lost Isaiah Wong, but like, dude, this team is still fucking good. Like, this team, if not in a perfect world, but like this team can definitely still fuck around and win the ACC. I don't think there's any denying that. So here's the
We're talking
problem
about
though. Yeah, you lost Isaiah Wong. Like,
that
I know
hurts.
Nigel
But
Pack can do a lot, but like really almost everything they did kind of was facilitated through Isaiah, whether he was distributing, dribble, drive, and kick, or whatever it was. God, this team has the potential to be so good. I like
Well,
Miami. And I
and
like
then
Jim Leonega. I have to say, Leonega can get it done.
And Matthew Cleveland coming over from Florida State. I mean,
Yeah, that was a
that dude
little bit of a
averaged
surprising.
13.8 last year on almost 45% from the field. Like that dude's a hooper. On
Hmm.
top of that, he dishes the ball pretty well.
Yes, he
I mean,
does.
not amazingly, but um, I guess the biggest concern for this team might just be how they gel.
Yep, I
But
agree with you. I mean,
obviously,
if you're bringing back what you bring back, I would imagine they'll gel pretty quickly with Poplar, O'Meara, and Pack.
losing two leading scorers, though, I mean, Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller, losing both of them, of course, that's pretty tough.
More concerned
They
about Wong than Miller, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
but no, I think they could be. I think they could be formidable.
I can find a team to fade in the ACC again this year. You know who that is? Louisville. God, the Louisville's so bad.
how are they
Um,
still favored for both matchups?
I don't know. They might not win a game in ACC play again this year. They're so bad. They just lost. Oh, they lost to
Chattanooga-
somebody opening. Yeah, they lost to Chattanooga, and they were what? Joey, like 10-point favorites at one point.
They were minus 3.5 to
Eh,
start the game, or 4 games to start.
So I don't know a lot about Virginia Tech. You know who they brought back though? Hunter Couture, the 3-point specialist, decided to come back this year and play another year for them. I don't know what else they have around him, but I would just watch out for Virginia Tech.
And Sean Padula was
I
pretty
like
good last.
Padula. He's pretty nasty.
I mean, he averaged 15 last year. I mean, he's a solid. He's a
God,
solid.
do I want to be like the public and just take fucking Duke to win the ACC? I think I'm gonna have to. Give me Duke to win the ACC. At least to win the regular season.
I mean, I guess I don't know exactly what sort of strength of schedule we're looking at, but
I mean, you play Arizona and Michigan State back to back.
well, they should though. They deserve it. they need to demonstrate their strength. You know. I don't know. Obviously, that's probably the favorite. I mean, they're ranked second in the nation for a reason.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if UNC ends up winning the ACC.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm looking at 4. If you look at Duke, UNC, Miami, we're forgetting about Clemson. They're bringing a lot back this year too. They're going to be a player again. I think they'll be pretty good.
I will say, don't sleep on Pitt though.
Of course
Pitt
not.
Was the dog last.
That was not an anomaly for them last year. They are good. They are going to be good.
I mean, Hinson is just dominant right now.
You tell me where you want to go next.
Season, 15 and 3 or 15.3 and 6.
You tell me where you want to go next. We got the Big 12, the Big East, the Pac-12.
Let's do the Big East.
God, I love this conference. This is probably the best conference in college basketball. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Undeniable.
I mean, you look at the top 4. Marquette brings back Cam Jones, Oso Iguodala, and Tyler Kolek, who actually just got hurt. I'm still waiting to see if they've released anything yet on what he did to, I think it was his ankle or his knee last night. They beat Ryder by like 30. Barely covered the spread at 28 and a half. I mean, you lose Omax. I think them losing Omax Prosper. I mean, yeah, it's a big deal. But, like, I think they have enough to where they can cover the holes. I mean, Tyler Kolek can pretty much do it all for this team.
No, I don't hate that.
You look at UConn. I mean, they have Caravan, they have Cligan, they have Cam Spencer, they have Tristan Newton. Them losing Sonogo is going to hurt them. Them losing Andre Jackson is not going to be fun. Them losing Hawkins is not going to be fun either. Like, they can repeat as national champions, but man, it's going to take a lot for them to do so. You know what team I like, but it scares me because I say this every year about them, is Creighton. If not now, when? You have Troy Alexander. You have Baylor Shireman. You have Kalkbrenner. You grabbed, who transferred there? Somebody transferred there. Who was it?
Point guard from Arizona.
No.
Are you talking about Jonathan Lawson?
No, didn't they pick up a kid from UConn?
Or am I thinking about? No, Arizona got Caleb Love.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
But I know Creighton got a transfer somewhere. I want to say he's a guard.
It might be Jonathan Lawson, actually. Yeah, this team needs to win now, or else I think Greg McDermott might not be around long.
No, their big thing they've got going for them is the experience. I mean, Kalkbrenner's a senior, Baylor Shireman's a senior.
I love Baylor Shireman.
Alexander's a junior.
Trey Alexander's good. He's so good.
But also, they got a pretty good guy from Utah State last year, Stephen Ashworth.
I was going to mention Stephen Ashworth. He's pretty nice.
He made. I mean, we'll see if he makes the jump.
I hope so.
Last year in the Mountain West, he averaged 16.2.
Mm-hmm.
Shot 45 from the field, 43 from 3.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking almost we're almost 50, 40, 90. I mean, we're getting there as the
Yeah,
type of shooter he
I
is.
agree with
So,
you.
I mean, if there was ever a time to do it, it's obviously
It's
this year. But
probably
of
this
course,
year, unfortunately.
you got a stacked Big East. I mean, 4 teams currently ranked in the top 25. On top of that, Providence is always chomping at the ankles. Seton Hall looks pretty good this season.
They'll be
Uh,
okay with Shaheem at the helm. You know who I would feel better about if they were fully healthy was Xavier, because Zach Freemantle's still hurt. We don't know when he's gonna come back yet. I don't know if Jerome Hunter 100%. Hang on. I don't know if Jerome Hunter's 100%. Because he's coming
I mean,
back. They said he had a cardiac incident. He might be done for the year, actually. The Xavier team has the potential to be good. I want them to be good. But, like, man, that conference is just so loaded.
well, and think about that too. I mean, this is an 11-team conference,
Yep.
and we could see 5 or 6 of
You
them
could see 5 or
in the
6
top
make the
25.
tournament. You could also see 5 or 6 of them make the tournament, too.
Well, and 5 or 6 of them not just making the tournament, but potentially being in the top 25 at any given time.
You know who we're forgetting about, too?
Hmm.
Forgetting about Butler. Don't sleep on Butler.
The Bulldogs.
They'll be halfway decent this year, too.
They've been blowing teams out already. They're averaging 92.5.
I know, which is wild. I
And
mean,
it's
they have
4 different guys that can just score at will, 5 different guys that can score at will. They're a pretty guard-heavy team, though.
my favorite player on this team is Posh Alexander, the transfer from St. John's. God, he's so good. They brought in Landon Moore from St. Francis, Pennsylvania, who's pretty fucking good. God, I want this team just for Sad Mata's sake to be good. But like, it's gonna take a little bit for them to get going. I can tell you that much right now. But I think they'll be fine. It's just gonna be a matter of how the Big East looks around them. You know who we're forgetting about? You know who we're sleeping on? Who everybody's sleeping on? Villanova.
I mean, there's no one sleeping on Villanova.
I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of a stretch. They're ranked 22nd in the nation right now. That's
You've
kind
got
of
Tyler
a stretch.
Burton. You bring in Tyler Burton. You've got Justin Moore. You've got Eric Dixon. You've got Chris Arcidiacono. You got TJ Bamba. You got Lance Ware. Like, this team, I want to see this team be good. I wanted to see this team be really good. And I think it's just because of the fact that I like Kyle Neptune, the head coach. I really do.
No, I don't. That's the thing about this conference is, I mean, it's like SEC football, dude.
Yeah.
We're just getting clash after clash after clash, you know.
I knew I would.
Especially December and January comes around. It's exciting to watch Big East basketball.
Do you want to see, speaking of the SEC, you want to make a prediction and then roll into the SEC?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think Marquette wins the regular season championship, but I haven't figured out who yet. But I think somebody else wins the conference championship at the end of the year. I just haven't figured out who I want it to be yet. I don't know if Marquette can do what UConn did. Marquette did win the regular season last year. I don't know if like anybody's gonna go on a UConn like run and just blow through everybody. Like that's the
No.
problem.
Well, and it was. I mean, Sonogo powered, of course, but
Yeah, of course.
I don't hate it. I think that's the hardest part about this is there's just so many good teams. It's not like any of these teams other than maybe St. John's and DePaul
Yeah.
being the lower tier teams,
God,
which is
DePaul's so
crazy.
bad.
I mean, even Georgetown could come out and get the job done. But I really do like Creighton this year. I think Creighton or UConn are going to be the ones that win the championship. So
I completely forgot when I was doing my write-up to write anything down for the SEC. But I'll tell you this right now. It's going to be a three-way dogfight between Arkansas, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Where do you want to start?
Honestly, I not super well versed. I will say, Tennessee. I mean, Dalton Connect is.
They need to get healthy.
Yeah, we do.
Santiago Vasquez working his way back. No,
Yep.
no, no. Santiago Vasquez healthy. Zakai Ziegler is what I'm thinking of that needs to work his way back to being 100%. He's looked pretty good in the first couple games to start the year. But man, this Tennessee team will do what it does every year. Play very good defense. Play just
Well,
enough
and they
offense to be
got
able
a
to win
great
games.
transfer too. Dalton Connect coming from University of Northern Colorado.
Oh, no go. Yeah.
I mean, he came out, and of course we're looking at it now as opposed to the pre-season.
Yeah, I agree
But
with you.
he averaged 20 points at Northern Colorado. So
Mm-hmm.
looking at Tennessee in the 2 games he's played so far,
Mm-hmm.
he's shooting 53% from the field. Not amazing from 3.
No.
Pretty good though from the charity stripe. I mean, that guy is just a huge addition.
I agree. I want to touch
But
on Arkansas and the Muss Bus, as they call themselves, with Eric Musselman. Dude, this team is good. With Trevion Brazil back fully healthy, that's massive. They have Khalif Battle, who's really good. I think it's L. Ellis is really good. Devontae Davis is really good. This team has star power littered all over the roster. Chandler Lawson, Jalen Graham, Makai Mitchell, Jeremiah Davenport. Like, this team is good.
no,
And
I'm
you know what
glad
they are?
LL
You know what they are too? This Arkansas team is deep this year. They might be one of the deepest teams in the country.
You're not wrong. I mean,
I don't know
team.
I don't know what Kentucky is. They're gonna be a case study because they're actually kind of young. Not gonna lie to you. Like, they brought in. Who have they? Hang on, let me take a look at the roster. They've still got Jacob Toppin. They've still got Troy Mitchell. They've still got Antonio Reeves.
They brought in Dillingham, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, they brought in. Well, Jordan Burks is a freshman. DJ Wagner's a freshman. Joey Hart's a freshman. I'm just trying to look at minutes. Oh, Reed Shepard. He's averaging 25 minutes per game. But I mean, this team is actually kind of old, because Toppin doesn't have minutes per game for some reason, but Dillingham averages 24 as a freshman. Justin Edwards is playing 30 minutes per game as a freshman. Like, this team is a mix of youth and experience, but like, I don't know what this team is because of what they were last year. And I know it's a different team and they lost some pieces, but like, I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. Is there anybody else you want to touch on in the SEC? I don't really know if I have anybody in the SEC that I would think oh my
Bama.
God. Yeah, but what is Bama? Like, let's sit here and ask ourselves.
It's an older team for sure. But Grant Nelson coming from North Dakota State.
Massive. Love Grant Nelson.
I mean,
he's
just a hooper, dude. He's a hooper.
They have Latrell Wrightsell Jr. still, who's good. They've got Nick Pringle. They've got Max Skarnowski, who's good. Aaron Estrada. How could I forget about Aaron Estrada?
Aaron Estrada dropped 27 last night.
This team, I think, is going to go how the Sea-Doos go this year, truthfully. Not going to lie to you. They have the potential to be good. Now, obviously, they don't have the freak athleticism that they did with, what's his name? With Brandon Miller anymore. But, like, they still have the chance to be good. If I had to pick a team to win this conference, it's going to be Arkansas or Tennessee. I don't think Cal knows what he's getting from his team either, truthfully. Which is a bit scary. I mean, yeah, they've looked good in the 2 games they've played, but I don't know if what you're getting from them is enough. You know what I mean?
Let's see what this young Kentucky team does against team with more fucking depth.
No,
A
they
team
gotta.
with
Yeah, I was gonna say they're
you
gonna
gotta
fucking.
see what they team with fucking to have some fucking years on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is Texas A&M too. I mean, they always keep it close,
I
but
like A&M. They're not great, but I like A&M.
there you go again. Not great. Team's ranked 15th in the country.
I think the SEC's so. I just think the SEC's all over the place. I really do.
Well, yeah, because then you got teams like Georgia, LSU, Missouri, Vandy, Auburn. Some of these teams are middle of the pack, but would be dominant in any other division.
Oh, of
You know,
course.
outside of the Big East.
Mm,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but no, I don't hate it. I think this is Tennessee's conference to lose.
Did we talk
But I
about the
wouldn't
Big?
be surprised if Alabama made another run.
Did we talk about the Big 12 at all?
We have not
We
yet.
forgot the Big 12. Well,
We just hadn't gotten there yet.
yeah.
I mean, I think there's actually a lot of good teams in the Big 12.
I agree.
I mean, of course, you got Kansas and Houston and Baylor and
Yeah, how about
Texas.
Houston? How do you think Houston does making the move over from the AAC?
I mean,
I think
they
I
were
think I
they
think
were so
the
here.
way
I
they
don't
play is gonna fit in just fine.
No, I mean they're just so dominant last year. I don't think that really is too big of a concern. I mean, we could talk about how Houston plays in football or in something else, but I mean they just have a basketball culture there.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk about Texas because they brought in one of the best pieces you could ever bring in Max Abe Smith from Oral Roberts. But you know what's nice? He doesn't have to be the guy anymore on this team. He doesn't, which I think will make him play a little bit looser, which is nice to see. But at the same time, he can still go out and give you, probably 25, 30 points if he has to. They still have
you're right.
Dylan Dessou.
He doesn't have to shoot at that volume
No.
anymore.
They still have Dylan Dessou, who's good. They obviously bring in Abe Smith. They have Tyrese Hunter. They have Kadeem Shedrick. Like, this team is loaded. They have Devin Pryor, the freshman. They have Dylan Mitchell. Like, this team is gonna be a good team. You know who I want to see play well this year, but I don't know what we're gonna get from them is K-State. I think the loss of Keontae George, and I think the loss of Marquise Noel is gonna hurt them immensely. Because I don't know if they have that. Because Cornbread, Joey, and even Gabe, we all know what they did last year. How Marquise Noel, like, buckled down, gave them that dog mentality, and then just proceeded to roll over everybody they played at home. Like, I don't know. Like, them losing Marquise Noel is a big loss for them. It really is.
I mean, it'll just be how Cam Carter steps up. I mean, he really wasn't much of a shooter, and now he has to be.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I mean, that's the biggest part. Is I mean, you still have some players with experience. You still got guys who were starters last year. You
Mhm.
got in Arthur Kaluma from Creighton.
Oh, I love Kaluma. Kaluma's a stud.
I
Kaluma
mean, it's
is
not
a
like they're gonna
stud.
be. It's not like they're gonna be terrible, but
You know who
I
I
will
want?
say,
You know who I'm interested to see is.
hmm,
I mean, I know it's West Virginia, and I know he's suspended for the first 9 games of the season, but I'm curious to see what Kirk Kulisa can do to West Virginia, if he can bring them along at all. Like make them any
no,
better than they were last year, because they were good, not great last year.
what's this guy suspended for?
He apparently at Arizona received impermissible benefits. That's the rumor.
During the NIL era.
No, before the NIL era.
Oh, but now he just has to serve his time here.
Yeah. Oh, also,
Weird.
speaking of Houston, you know who Houston brought in from Baylor? They brought in LJ Cryer, who was one of
Oh,
their
wait,
best players last year. This Houston team has LJ Cryer. They bring back Terrence Arsenault. They bring back Emmanuel Sharp. They have Ramon Walker Jr. They have Jamal Sheed. Like, this Houston team's, this is the fuck around and find out team in the Big 12. Guaranteed. This is the fuck around and find out team in the Big 12. Now, here's the problem with the Big 12, though, is you're going to get not dominated physically. You're going to get tested physically every single night in that conference when you get into conference play. You don't get that in the AAC. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can take that next step of the team. And don't get me wrong, I think they can. I just don't know if they will. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think you're forgetting one big thing is it is going to be kind of a battle of the giants.
Exactly.
Hunter Dickinson over at Kansas.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
how do we forget about Kansas? My lord.
I mean, Kevin McCullough Jr., KJ Adams.
No, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. We're missing somebody. Juwan Harris.
Braun.
Bro, Juwan Harris needs to take another step forward this year, I think. I think at the end of the day. You know who I'm gonna miss on this team so much? It's fucking headband man himself, Grady Dick. God, he was so much fun to watch.
He was. I mean,
Grady
but
Dick's
they-
on
they-
what, the Raptors now?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure where he ended up.
yeah, he's on the Raptors. I think he's picked like 8th or 9th or something.
You know,
But
I don't know what to make of this conference. Like, I don't know if I can pick a winner.
well, they got Johnny Furphy, a freshman they brought in.
I forgot
He's
about
playing
him, too.
meaningful minutes.
Yes, he is.
My pick is Kansas. I mean, Kansas is going to run this shit back.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you
But
1000%.
it's gonna be a dogfight though. It's gonna be between Texas and Houston. I don't know so much about Baylor.
I don't either, but them losing LJ Clark, they have what the fuck is his name? He's got like 3 names. It's that Jonathan kid. Hang on. Baylor basketball. Hang on, hold please. Jonathan Chachachua is whatever the fuck his name is. He's gonna be pretty good for them too. But I agree with you. I think it's Kansas against the field. But you know what conference is gonna be most fun this year? The Pac-12. You want to know why? You've already seen the best backcourt. We've already seen the best backcourt in college basketball play this year, with Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier at USC. Or it's not. Is it Boogie Ellis? Is that his fucking name? I think it's Boogie Ellis. But like, dude, USC's scary. I mean, Joey, you and I watched that game against K-State and fucking ran him out of the building. I mean, DJ Rodman played 27. I don't care if he only scored 2 points. He played 27 minutes. Boogie Ellis dropped 24. Isaiah Collier dropped 18.
And imagine what happens when Bronny's back.
So here's the thing. They're playing it safe with Bronny, which I respect. But man, I can't wait until he gets on that court with them. He's going to be so good for that team.
My thing is, I don't know if he's gonna be one and done.
No, I don't think he will be.
I mean, obviously the narrative is like get this dude to the NBA so he can play with his dad.
Yeah, but like his health is definitely going to be the most important now. I would like to think so.
And then on top of that, there's just no way you can only play like half of a season at the college level and expect to
automatically just go to the NBA. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a pretty solid conference. I mean, not amazing.
Oregon will be okay. UCLA is going to be okay. UCLA will just find a way to win games like they do every fucking year. I guarantee it. A sneaky team to look out for is Colorado. Colorado got some dudes last year. I remember, speaking of last year, Joey, I hate bringing this up. Remember when we watched Colorado shoot the lights out in Rocky Top last year against Tennessee? You and I sat and watched that entire game. That game was kind of sad. But, I don't know. Do you want to just go mid-major hunting now? Like, pick a mid-major conference or two you want to talk about?
We talked
we
about
can-
the Big Six already.
Yeah, we hit the Pac-12, we hit the Big 12, we hit the SEC, we hit the Big East, we hit the ACC, we hit the missing one. What conference am I missing right now?
West Coast.
Oh,
I
we
guess
have not
that's
hit the
considered-
West Coast Conference. Give me St. Mary's. Give me Adam Mahaney and St. Mary's to win this conference.
I don't know. Gonzaga added some pretty big pieces.
Yeah, but did you see who they already lost Steel Ventures to a knee injury. He's done for the year. That doesn't help at all. Did they
Graham
end up
EK.
beating? Did they? I'm assuming they won last night.
Gonzaga.
Yeah. Oh
What-
yeah,
yeah.
they beat Yale by 15 yesterday. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, Graham EK though.
Did he play?
Yep, he played. He's the. I mean,
Let
Graham
me
EK.
look at what he did.
Wyoming, but I mean, Graham EK. You just brought in Ryan Nemhard from.
He
Creighton.
played 11 points and he scored 11 points in 20 minutes. That's who I was thinking of. With Ryan, you've got Ryan Nemhard, you've got Nolan Hickman. They'll be okay.
Got EK.
They gotta stay healthy. Bad.
And then
Um,
Braden Huff, a freshman, came out and
He dropped 19 in
balled
20
out.
minutes. Yeah, he had a good game. I actually watched a good chunk of that game yesterday. I watched like the middle 20, which is from like the 10-minute mark of the first half to the 10-minute mark of the second half. They'll be okay.
Yeah,
They
and
don't
then-
have a. I mean, well, I say they don't have a true star when they have EK and Nemhard and those guys, but like they don't have like your Timmy or like your Chet or like your like they don't have that one guy that's like, oh, Gonzaga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But God, I will say this as full disclosure, I have a future on St. Mary's to win the regular season championship at plus 115. So do with that what you will, or do with that what you won't. It's fine. Did you? I'm only gonna mention the Mountain West really quick. Did you see San Diego State lost to BYU yesterday?
They did. I was really shocked actually.
It's gonna take them time to get rolling again.
No.
Are there any mid-major leagues you want to touch on before we wrap this up?
I will say just real quick, with San Jose State, their coach,
On the Mountain
their
West.
coach. Yeah, their coach is good. They got some good guys.
You know who's gonna be another wagon this year?
hmm,
Vermont in the American East Conference. They're gonna be a good
Dude.
team to look out for. They lost a couple pieces, but I think they'll be okay. If there's one conference that I'm keeping my eye on the entire year, it's the Horizon League. This league's not as bad as you think it is this year. Wright State's gonna be okay. Youngstown State will be okay. Northern Kentucky's looked good so far. Cleveland State's looked good so far. Oh, we were talking about Illinois. Funny enough, Illinois barely beat Oakland earlier today. I think it was like, hang on. I think it was like 65-56 or something like that. It was a closer game than it was. They beat them 63-54, so they beat them by 11. But like Oakland hung with them the entire game. I'm just wondering who that mid-major team is going to be again this year that comes out of nowhere. Oh, you know who
one
I can
team that
fade? You know
actually
who I'll
very
fade? You know who I'll fade in the Horizon League all year? Fade Detroit
Who?
Mercy. Fade Detroit Mercy. Now that they don't have Antoine Davis, forget
Yeah.
about it. They're going to be pitiful. I'm
Your
just a-
team looks really good though.
Who?
You got
Drake.
take it over. God, Milwaukee doesn't look too bad.
No, they've looked pretty good so far in their opening couple of games. You know what conference is going to be rough again this year? The A10. I mean, Dayton already lost their best player. He's done. Dayton lost their starting point guard to a knee injury. I think he's done for the year. Duquesne blew the doors off of fucking. Who did they beat? Oh, College of Charleston already. Um,
I mean, the
Fordham
A10
just beat
feud.
Fordham just beat somebody pretty good today. Let me go to Twitter really quick and see who they just beat.
I got it up. They did not. They beat Wagner earlier in the week, but they lost to Cornell.
Oh, they
Today.
lost to Cornell. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, they either lost to or they beat somebody.
I will say one team that I love in the A10 is St. Louis.
I like St. Louis. Oh, the Billikens.
Year in, year out.
Yes. You know what league I have my eye on as well is once again the Missouri Valley Conference. Drake is going to be good with Tucker DeVoe. Bradley looked really good a couple nights ago. Belmont will be good again this year. Belmont just absolutely. Did they dog walk Furman? No, Furman I think dog walked them.
Yeah,
Furman, hang
Furman
on.
beat them.
Furman Belmont. Oh yeah, that game was fucking. Hang on.
UNI. I mean, I don't.
They'll be
Historically,
okay.
I mean, just watch out for them to shoot the fucking lights out. So
Oh yeah, Furman dog walked them 99-67. That's another speaking of conferences, the SoCon, the Southern Conference has the potential to be pretty fucking good. With where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. With Furman will be good. Chattanooga, I mean they beat Louisville. I don't know if that's anything to hang your hat on anymore like it
yeah, how
used to
much
be.
you can put into that, but
You know what? You know who's this team? I forgot because they just fucking beat Notre Dame. Western Carolina. Western Carolina. I have them in the. I have them in the. I have their future to win the Big South regular season. I got it at. Let me just pull up Discord on my phone really quick because I don't want to do it on my computer. Let me see what I got that at. Hold please for 2 seconds. Ryan Pins. I got that. Oh, I didn't take fucking. I didn't take Western Carolina. I took Weber State instead. God damn it. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. Do you have anything else
I'm just
before
taking
we
a
wrap
look
here?
just in case.
I think we've kind of hit everything. I kind of actually, while we're sitting here, kind of wrapping this up, I want to look at Western Carolina and see what
My wagon of last year.
is it James
UMass.
Madison. Oh, UMass Lowell's back.
Dude, they beat the crap out of Dartmouth. Dartmouth and those Ivy League teams usually are.
Can we talk about the funny with the Ivy League for 2 seconds? You know who's gonna be good again this year, even though they lost their two best players from last year? Princeton's gonna be a
Yale.
team. Princeton's gonna be a team that can do
Oh, they
some
made
damage.
I was gonna say, UMass Lowell. Of course, like I said earlier, we got a little bit of less opportunity to say predictions, but I mean it's still really early in the season. But holding a team to 48 points, almost doubling up their score
Yeah.
on their home court. On their
So
home court.
I don't have Ivy League futures on FanDuel, which is really shitty. Because that sucks. Because I would take Princeton, but I have Furman at +2. This is the SoCon really quick. I have Furman at +200, UNC Greensboro at +220, Sanford at +400, and Western Carolina at +850. Also, if I wanted to be daring enough, I could take fucking Chattanooga at +1400. But like Western Carolina is gonna be a wagon.
We're missing out on one. We're just missing out on one conference.
Who is it?
It's the Sun Belt. JMU.
I forgot about that.
We didn't even touch on JMU. I mean, what a crazy way to start out the season, beating a number at that
The
point. I
number
believe
4
they were.
ranked team at the time in the country. Yeah.
Well, they're still technically ranked fourth. Rankings haven't changed yet, but fourth ranked team at their home court.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, crazy. They shouldn't have even had an opportunity to go into overtime against Kent State, but things happen. Inbounding fouls happen, and James Madison comes out of here 2-0. I wouldn't be surprised if James Madison only loses 2 or 3 games this season, runs through the Sun Belt. Of course, there's some
There's
crappy
some tricky
teams,
games in there, yeah.
but I mean, just what an incredible start.
Do I have the
But
Sun Belt on FanDuel really quick? Hang on, I'm looking. I don't think so. Oh, by the way, UNC Wilmington just beat UNC Asheville by 17.
dude, that game's so close going into halftime.
Yeah, and then the under shit the bed. I had the under.
I
Let me look at.
don't have anything else.
I don't have the Sun Belt. Damn it! I have the Summit League.
South Dakota.
I mean, that league is probably
USC
South Dakota or bust this year.
I mean, North Dakota State lost Grant Nelson.
Oral
Oral
Roberts doesn't
Roberts.
have Abe Smith anymore.
And honestly, even last night, I bet on Rio Grande Valley to
UT
beat them,
Rio.
but they've got a really solid team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
I have a
South Dakota.
question for you, really quick.
Yeah.
I have Arizona at plus 150 to win the Pac-12. I have USC at plus 370. Do I take either one of those, or do I just say fuck it and just leave it alone? I'll probably just say fuck it and leave it alone.
USC wouldn't be bad with that value.
Yeah, there's
but
a lot of value there, but we can talk about that individually as we go down the road. Gabe, you want to get us out of here? Or do I have to do it? I mean, I'll
Dude,
do it if I
sleeping.
have to. I don't care.
You guys taking a pregame nap before they stay up for 5 hours and watch
Probably.
UFC?
Well, thank you, one and all, for joining us for our college basketball preview on the Fab by Better Podcast. Podcast will be out Monday. The link tree is always in the bio of our YouTube or Spotify podcast, where you'll find our Discord, our YouTube, our Twitter, whatever it may be. I would like to thank Joey for joining us. Thank you, Joey. Okay, good answer. I would like to thank Cornbread. Cornbread, thank you, as always, for being here. Appreciate it.
I love talking college basketball shop.
Oh, bro.
And you're missing one thing. We're gonna have picks all season, all the way through March.
We're tracking the entire thing, yeah.
I'm tracking my picks for the whole year.
So
this
am
will be
I.
the first I've ever done that. And
We're gonna have fun with it too.
I'm gonna say this right now and jinx myself, but I've had a pretty hot start. Today wasn't such a great day so far. We still got a lot more picks to go, but just keep an eye out because there's a lot of college basketball ahead of us. And
Yes, there is.
this is our goal is to make some good picks, have some good time. So come on through to the Discord if you haven't yet.
Mm-hmm. But thank you to everyone for joining us for this episode of the Fab Five Better Podcast, and we will see you all next week.